So I'm sure all of you saw the frustration on my face on the previous video when I mentioned the survey. There's a survey. Oh, good God, that survey. But why is a survey so stressful for car salespeople specifically? I mean, at the end of the day, this day and age, we get a survey for everything. You know, everywhere you go, everybody wants you to do some sort of survey or review of some kind. Which, by the way, we're going to talk about reviews later on. And if you haven't seen the previous video where I mentioned the survey, I encourage you to do so. It's down in the description below, and it'll also be in the card at the end of the video. This is sort of a follow-up video to that video. The reason why the survey is so much stressful is plain and simple. At the end of the day, part of our pay depends on it. That's reality. But how is that? How would a survey depend how I get paid as a salesperson? So depending on the manufacturer you work for, there are different rules set up on how you get paid on a survey. But at the end of the day, when the customer takes a car home, they'll be sent a survey and they're going to fill it out. They're going to be asked for the experience. The survey is broken into different sections. There's a section for the finance manager, the store, the salesperson, the delivery experience, pretty much everything in there. So they get asked to rate the experience, right? It depends on the manufacturer. It could be from 1 to 10 or 10 to 100. There are different ratings depending the company you work for. So what happens is, once they take the survey, all of that reflects, unfortunately, on us as salespeople. So if they say the finance manager was not honest presenting the paperwork, or kind of just rushing through it, didn't go over it in detail, the sales manager is going to come to you and ask you, how come we got a bad survey? As crazy as it sounds, it's going to fall on you because you're the one that has the communication one-to-one with the customer. They're going to blame it on you. So that's why it's super important, what I said in the previous video. You're responsible to follow up with him, usually within 28 to 48 hours. You have to call the customer to make sure that everything's still working properly in the car, see if they have any questions. There's a question in there that asks where you followed up after the sale to make sure you are satisfied. You want them to say yes, of course, but it's also important that you know if there are other problems, like the paperwork and finance was not presented the right way. If that happens, if the customer mentions that to you on the follow-up phone call, that's a red flag. Right away you go to the sales manager and say, hey, let's not send this person a survey. And if it has been sent out already, because depending on the dealership, sometimes they do it right away. They'll just send the survey right away. So if it has happened already and they already have the survey on the email, now you and your manager will work together to make sure that that person gives us a good survey. The manager will call, try to get the situation right, you know, see what they want basically, so that we can get a good survey. Because after it's been sent out, you can't retrieve it, you can't take it back. So you know, you want to make sure that you know ahead of time whether you should send it or not. And sometimes you get a feel when you're doing the delivery, if things are not going right. You know, you'll tell your manager, hey, listen, when you finalize this paperwork, please don't send them a survey, because whatever the reason may be. And so that is why it's super important that you do your follow-up. And not only the follow-up, the entire process has to be impeccable so that they can give you a good survey. Surveys and reviews are a big part of our business. You want to make sure that you get them and that you get them right all the time. Now, I'd rather don't have a survey than getting a bad survey, because a bad survey will hurt you, where a no survey, just no survey done, you know, so it's easier that way. All right, perfect. So we established we need to make sure that we get a good survey, but how can we do that? How can we give them such an experience where they just give us a good survey right off the bat? Well, that's exactly what you do. You give them a world-class experience. You make everything seamless. Whatever paperwork you need to do, you do it fast, you do it the right way, you get them into finance in a timely manner. You make sure the car is clean, do the delivery, go through all the process, whatever the process may be that your dealership has set up for you as a salesperson. Just follow that and do it to its fullest to make sure to get a good survey. Now, there are other things that you can do as well. For instance, I have on my desk a copy of the survey, right? This is the survey that Volkswagen will send and I don't know how clear you can see it there, but these are all the questions that they expect to have on the survey, so I can show, I show it to them during the process, so they know, it's not the unknown. And in the back, I have an example. For instance, we get rated from 1 to 10, so 10 being the highest. I have an example here that says fail up on the top, and another one that says pass. The one that says fail has pretty much everything right, but it has a couple of 9s in it, and I can put a picture of this below in the description so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's a 9 in there, and because there is 1, 2, 3, 4 9s, that's a fail pretty much. So you have to coach them. You have to tell them, hey, listen, when you get this thing, 10s and yeses all the way down. It doesn't matter what the section is. It's going to reflect on me as a salesperson. So you want to make sure that they know what they're walking into when they open up the survey. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys on a survey. Be good, do your job, be a good salesperson, give them a world-class experience, follow up, make sure that they understand everything in the car. Again, give them a good experience overall, and you will get a good survey. In the following video, we're going to talk about 2 things. We're going to talk about CRM and how important it is, and we're also going to talk about getting reviews, how to do that, and what to do this day and age to get more reviews from your customers. I hope you were able to get some information out of this video. If you just started as a salesperson, follow the channel. We're going to talk about how to be better at your job and help you hopefully sell more cars, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Oh yeah, since you're already here, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell so you get notifications every time I upload a video. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next.